It is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm an extremely red Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. How are you doing, SP3?
I am doing well. Happy New Year to everyone out there. Hope everyone had a blessed New Year's Eve evening, and I hope that they have a blessed 2026 filled with happiness and great wrestling. And we're going to talk about some great wrestling that went down last night on AEW Dynamite. I'm also going to talk about Stardom, Dream Queendom. I don't know if Jeremy saw it or not. I'm still going to talk about it. I don't know what else we can talk about, but those are the two things that I came to talk about. I don't know why the C-suite is in the description because there was no Evolve last night. So
That's Joel's fault. We'll blame Joel for that.
and that's the poll question. Should SP3 retire from management of the C-suite? I think I'm gonna leave. Those are one of the things I'm gonna leave in 2025.
Oh, no more C-suite. Xeno Hour is going to be really upset. That's like
The poll will dictate if I retire or not from the C-suite, because it is kind of difficult because Tubi, it's not available on Tubi out here in the UK. I need a VPN that costs money, and the whole thing with the C-suite is the convenience of watching the C-level shows for free. So the fact that I would have to pay money for a VPN to watch Evolve and LFG, that sounds gross. So yeah, let us know with the poll if I should retire from the C-suite. And I have other reasons, but I think I'll address that if I show up tomorrow.
If you show up, you're not going to show up to the Wheaties?
Okay, so also we're gonna start off with me leaving all my grievances in 2025. So let me just tell everybody here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna no. You got to get it out now, and then we can leave it in 2025.
Yeah.
These two mother truckers made me available for In the Weeds 4 straight days. Today, thankfully, we did a show. Monday, I did the show while I was supposed to be working and doing my writing gig, my regular gig. I made myself available because I always come in the clutch. I'm always on the call, and I will come in even if I'm not supposed to on a Monday. Then on Tuesday, I made myself available again. Joel said he might have something to do. I'm not gonna. You got to take care of responsibility. Joel's a dad. That's all fine and dandy. At least say something. When I say I am free, I am free. If you get a co-host, I'm pretty sure he didn't even try to get a co-host to fill in for himself. Didn't even let me know anything. And then this guy, this red mother trucker here, Patty Mayonnaise father over here, he tells me at like 1 o'clock in the morning over here. It's 8 p.m. over there, but it's 1 o'clock over here. I'm trying to watch NXT while I'm trying to fight sleep so I could just watch it and get it over it so I don't have to wake up on Wednesday morning and watch that crap. But I'm trying to watch that. I see when I finally wake up in the morning that he needs me available for Wednesday to be on here. So I made myself available. My missus, I let have a day on the town without the kids because she's been stuck with the kids all these months. Let her have a day on the town. Told her, can you get back at a certain time because I need to be available for 3 o'clock for In the Weeds. And then at like 2:45, he tells me, "Oh, I can do it. And then I turn on the show, and this guy's complaining about being here because he's tired. Why don't you just let me do the show then? Or let me start the show at least because I made myself available." Okay. That is into 2025 now.
In fairness to me, we don't care about Joel. He Tuesday was his fault because I gave everybody.
Wait, hold on. SL Piron and Bonkers. No, it is not. No, it is not. I am still waiting for the last Evolve episode of 2025 to be uploaded on the WWE YouTube. Now they just do it where they put up the full matchup that was on that episode and the promo that was on that episode, but not the full episode. WWE Evolve does not show up on YouTube a day later. It doesn't show up until maybe days later. They are not consistent with that. So don't believe the hype. They might have said that, and they might have been doing that for months, but they stopped doing that.
In fairness to me, Tuesday, I gave everybody plenty of notice. Everyone knows I was traveling on Tuesday. So
yeah, that's not your fault.
Okay. I did not expect to come home on Tuesday to everybody in the house being sick. I'm sleeping on concrete and everything. And so I tried to give you a heads up. Like, I don't know what Wednesday is going to bring. I just don't. But I'm going to try to do this show. I didn't know until 45 minutes ahead of time. I was able, or 15 minutes, even less than that. I was able to do it. I apologize that you tried to rearrange your schedule. I appreciate that you tried to rearrange your schedule. I didn't know what was going on today. You saw my messages today of like, I don't know what's I might be late to the show. I might have to leave the show early. As people know, everyone in this house, except for me, is sick. In fact, my wife and some of the kids are at the hospital right now. They are so sick. So it has not been a great couple of days here. I've not slept in my bed since last Friday. I'm very annoyed that I've been sleeping on the floor the past couple of days. I'm not in a great mood. So I apologize for any grief that I have caused you, SP3. You are welcome on the show tomorrow. I hope you know that. I was hoping to put more effort into the Wheaties tomorrow. Now I'm just so tired. I want to get through the Wheaties at this point. Joel did make some graphics, so there is that. I might have a suit. I don't know. It might be infected at this point because everyone in the house isn't. I've had to wear a mask. This show is the only time, and when I eat, is the only time I don't wear a mask. In my own house. That's how sick everyone is, people. I feel like I'm in the pandemic all over again. I'm wearing a mask in my own house. Every room I go into, there is one safe space. It is this room that I'm in right here because one of the other kids is not sick, thankfully. But this has sucked, everyone. This has sucked. This is not how I was hoping to start and end my year. I'm tired. I'm grumpy. I apologize that I'm grumpy. I know SP3's mad about the awards and the C-suite award.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I want that to stay in 2026. Don't get me started on that.
You know the bit for the entire award show, though, right?
I am. I do want you and your family to be doing well. The only reason that I brought up yesterday is because I was like, man, you're going through it. You should have let me just start the show at least for you.
I probably should have taken yesterday's shows off. I truly should have, but I'd missed Monday's show. We didn't do a show on Tuesday. It's the last show of the year. I felt like I always feel an obligation to specifically this show.
You don't have to, sir. I'm here.
I know.
I am here for you. I got your back, man. You had my back. You stayed out, dude. You stayed out in the cold for me a year ago in North Carolina because I didn't have an ID. I will do anything. I will fill in for you. I owe you still. I'm still paying off my penance for that because that was like an hour and a half.
You were definitely not paying off anything for that. But no, I always feel bad because like if I can do it, this goes for this show, this goes for work, just everything in general. Because Andrew tells me the same stuff when it comes to like work. I'm like, I feel bad. Like I've not written that much this week between traveling, being with my mom, and then everybody being sick. Like I just haven't gotten a lot of written work done. Like I feel bad because I'm like, I just haven't done anything. He's like, dude, stop. It is fine. I'm good. I'm here. But like, I feel an obligation to just do stuff because that's my role. Like I'm allegedly the leader of this whole thing.
There is such thing as burnout as well. If you got people like Andrew Thompson to have your back on the writing side, you got people like me and Joel to have your back on the podcast side, it is okay to take a day, sir.
And
You deserve the day. You're the hardest working man in wrestling media. I don't say that because I'm your friend. I say that because you always have something online. You always are posting something. You're always writing something. You're always doing a show, sir. This is a New Year's intervention for you. You have to take certain days, sir. You have to.
I appreciate that. Here is like my mindset. I know it's not a good mindset. Like I know like this is not good at all. I am so busy with like everything else this week that like honestly doing this show specifically, because this show is so easy. Like working with you, working with Joel. I get on here, I bullshit with you guys. I talked about wrestling sometimes, and the chat's always fun. Like this show is legitimately like the highlight of my day because it's 2 hours where I don't have to write anything. So I don't love missing this show because I genuinely love doing this show. The writing stuff, like I just know I'm good at, and so when I have to take care of the wife and I have to take care of the kids and like I am running around, I'm doing stuff because usually the wife's a superhero and she handles all that. So when she's down and not able to do that, then like that allows me to do all the work stuff. But like when after I'm done doing all that, sometimes I'm just like I want to break from that, and like writing just is my break and like escape from everything of like, okay, I can just get a couple articles done and that be that. And look, sometimes like, yeah, I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything on the writing side, but legitimately like this show, I always want to do this show. Like I don't like missing this show because I do love doing this show. And so that's why like anytime I can do this show, I'm like, yeah, if I can be there, I'm going to do it. The writing stuff is more, that one it will be like, if I don't have to do anything, I'm not going to do anything. But no, this show, I don't like missing the show. I like doing it. I do appreciate, again, you, Joel, Andrew, you guys always tell me to take days, take time. I'm just like, I do just enjoy this stuff. I truly do. But what are we talking about? What's happening today?
We had to this is probably helping somebody out there. There's probably somebody watching that overworks themselves as well, and they need to hear these words and they can take it upon themselves to basically me saying it to them as well. You always need a break. We can't repeat the eras of the generation before us. My mother used to work nonstop. Like she used to work OT. She worked at a hospital. So she worked OT, she would work doubles, triples, back to back. I told myself I would never repeat the eras of her, and I wound up doing that when I worked in a hotel. When I was a front desk manager, I did doubles, I did back to back, I did overnights, I did it all. And then like my missus tells me like it's so much better to hang out and be around me in comparison now to when I was working at the hotel, because I used to just come home and go to sleep or be out of it when I would be with her at our home. So like, yeah, we gotta correct the eras of the generation before us. We gotta learn from their mistakes and do better. Take a break, take a day. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing's gonna break down. You're not gonna break down respectfully if you take a day.
I completely agree with you, and I tell that to my wife. She tells me this all the time. I
literally told this to my missus because she's been with the kids all this time when I was back in America. And I'm like, take the day, take your time. She's like, no, I want to rush down. And I was like, take the day, take as much time as you need. I got them. I'll take care of it. And I was like, I'm going to give them a bath. She's like, they're going to freak out. I was like, no, they're not. They're going to be fine. I gave her the video of me giving my daughter a bath. I was like, she's totally fine. She just whined a bit and then it was all right.
And my wife tells me all the time, and is like, you gotta take a day, you gotta like rest, like it'll be fine, other people do it, or like it'll get done. I'm like, oh, maybe, but like I know I can get it done though. I don't want to be like, yeah, somebody else can do it. Like I know I can do it, so I will try. I never do. And this is, I tell everybody, because some people will ask me of like, oh, what do you do to like take care of your mental health? What do you do like when you're feeling burnt out? I was like, I just keep going, and I know that's not the best advice, I'm like, I'm the wrong person to ask this of like, what do you do when you get burnt out? I'm like, well, I just keep going. That's what I do when I get burnt
Just
out.
go harder.
Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, like it's not good. I fully recognize it's not good, but this is like all I know. This is what I know how to do. Like this, honestly, this week has been like the most that I guess the least that I've done in I can't remember when. And like I have a good reason for not doing as much this week, but I feel bad. I'm like, man, I just haven't done anything this week. I could have been doing a whole lot more, but this week I just haven't done a ton, and I want to get better. But then I feel bad. Like I haven't done anything. I gotta get better. I gotta do better. I gotta pick up my efforts and everything. So it's a double-edged sword. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. Do not work as hard as me and SP3, folks. Just or if you do it responsibly. Work responsibly when it comes to this stuff, because I definitely don't. I know SP3's work ethic. SP3 is doing like 15 shows a day. He's doing writing on top of that. He's doing interviews. Like I don't know when he's not doing all that, he's watching everything in the world. So I don't know like when SP3 has time to like sleep or do anything else, but he somehow makes time. Like if you're gonna do it responsibly, because I don't think I do it responsibly. I don't want to speak for him and say he doesn't do it responsibly, but
Probably
I
not.
certainly,
Probably.
like I certainly don't. But here we are, just doing this show, trucking along, bitching and complaining.
Yeah, my missus was like, for last Friday, she was like, why are you working on Boxing Day? You know they celebrate here in the UK? And I didn't realize that. It took her saying that for me to look at the schedule and be like, yeah, I am the only person working today.
You know what I really blame of all this, SV3? I blame just wrestling in general. Because
why can't wrestling take a day off? Like, why just, why can't there be a day with no news, no shows, just take a day? Like even the NBA, what was it? Thanksgiving. There was no games. There was no
Christmas
news
Eve.
on Thanksgiving.
They don't do
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve games.
They don't do no games. There was no news to talk about from the NBA. Like wrestling is just nonstop. Like we talked about NBA being nonstop and the off season being as interesting as the regular season and the playoffs, but like wrestling, we need some structure, and we need an off season. Even if the off season is like a week, that would be beneficial to everyone who works in wrestling media.
There's literally always something. I mean, they literally had shows on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. They literally had a show on New Year's Eve. Like they had shows on these days. And then it's like, oh, there's no show. Oh no, there's Wrestle Kingdom this weekend. Like there's just always something going on in the world of wrestling. Like there was like mid-December, there was that little lull. It was between Cena's last match and effectively World's End. There was no major shows between that, right? So that was like, okay, this is when we might have a little bit of a downtime here, but there's shows every day. There's still the weekly television shows every day. And they used to in the past, they used to do recap shows. Like WWE would do their recap shows and everything. And TNA would even do more or less recap shows. TNA, outside of last week, they just kept doing first run shows. They're doing a first run show today. WWE didn't do any recap shows. They did taped shows, but it was still first run shows. And AEW didn't. Again, they did taped shows, but it was all first run stuff.
And
ROH is doing like 5 shows a week for some reason.
The greatest episode of Collision happened with like 5 people watching. Like on Christmas Day, as everybody's watching the NBA and NFL and spending time with their families, Collision's having the best episode of Collision ever. That's what
it did 200,000 viewers. It did 200,000 viewers. Not including Max, which it apparently does like a million. So
There we go. There we go. 1.2.
yeah,
1.2 million. They are on some NBA. Some not NBA. They set their record for most viewers on Christmas Day.
yeah,
Not surprising with some of those games. Some of those games were a lot of fun until the Lakers came on and I had to turn it off. But yeah.
yeah. I didn't know the NBA existed on Christmas Day. Honestly, I didn't watch any of it. So.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it wasn't a good.
It wasn't a good day for us on Christmas Day watching NBA.
I turned that shit off at halftime. I'm like, this feels a little bit over, honestly.
Once we started like our fourth straight game, 18-8 in the first quarter, I was like, let me just turn on Collision. That'll make me feel much better. That'll make me feel much better than watching this. I was so happy watching that Knicks game. That Knicks game was one of the best Christmas Day games with Kalenic going off in the fourth quarter. That was so much fun to watch. I'm enjoying that. I even enjoyed the Dallas and Golden State game. It wasn't as competitive as that one, but I enjoyed that one. And then I even watched I watched the Spurs and Thunder as well. You know, I know you were feeling the pain, but I got to shout out because last night he came through in the clutch. Bishop Laughlin's own, my nephew's former teammate, Julian Champagny. Had to watch him because I always, it's crazy to watch like people that you watch so up close. When my nephew was like high school, he was like a freshman and Julian Champagny was a senior and they're on the same team together. And I'm like, dude, I saw this guy when he was like 16 in Brooklyn, just playing ball every Friday. And now he's in the NBA and going off on the New York Knicks and making them lose and having pissed off New York Knicks fans on social media. I was like, I'm so proud of him.
The Spurs are weird. Like, they're clearly good, but like they beat the Thunder and then they lose to Utah. Like, what? How are y'all losing to Utah?
But
and then they lose
but
to
Utah
Cleveland?
be surprised at a lot of these good teams, it seems, this year.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. We beat Utah. I think we beat them.
I know y'all did
both times.
I mean, the only team that beats y'all is the Spurs, to be fair.
Yeah. Here's my hot take on the Spurs. By the way, we're 22 minutes in. Leave a thumbs up on the video. We'll see what kind of the fireworks do to my face here. As SP3 pointed out before we went on air, I look like I have a cartoon fever. Like, even my skin is red. I swear I'm not this red, folks. It's like the lighting in this room is completely just messing, because the light is like right there and it's just coming down, so I just look very red. So I apologize. I'm not sick, I don't think. I fully expect to get sick because everyone in the house is sick, and even though I'm wearing a mask everywhere and washing my hands and everything, like, it's just gonna hit me. I got my flu shot as well. Like, I got all the precautions. It's not gonna matter. Something's going to infect me in this house. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Although we're always interactive with the chat, but you can leave a super chat. That helps support the show, helps support me, Joel, and SP3. Ryan says, y'all effing on SP3. Apologize to him. I apologize. I don't really think I did anything truly wrong, but I apologized.
Y'all effing on me. Yes, he is absolutely right.
And Follow says, I mean, I feel seeing, to hear someone else say the same shit I do. On the other hand, it's dumbass behavior or dumbasses. Let's stop that. Yeah, my therapist would always tell me of like, what would you tell like your friend in this position? And I was like, oh, I would tell them this, 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 and this. And they're like, so why don't you take that advice? I was like, because I'm fucking dumb. What do you want? That's why I'm here. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, just think of what you would tell your friend and then tell yourself that and then do that. It's like, yeah, I can do that. Again, I have good people around me telling me this. I don't listen. I'm stupid. I don't know how else you want me to put this. Lady, I'm sorry. You're great, but I'm not gonna listen. I'm very dumb. So the Spurs are a weird team. Here's my hot take on the Spurs. They're better with Wemby coming off the bench than they are with him as a starter. And here's my reasoning. And I think this could apply to legitimately any team. When that dude's coming off the bench, again, this can apply. You can say Shea, you can say Luka, you can say Jalen Brunson, any top player coming off the bench. They are now going more against the backups, right? Because the Thunder are starting Chet and Hartenstein. And then they, like, Mark with his rotations, one might stay on the floor, one might go to the bench. But, like, here comes Wemby, Chet Hartenstein go to the bench. Now he's playing against Kenrich. Kenrich's great, don't get me wrong. But he's playing against Kenrich. They want to go small with Caruso. Like, the rotations just get messed up when it comes to that. Because in the regular season, now the playoffs going to be a different story, obviously. Because then in the playoffs, it's like your starters play more anyway. You're gonna cross match a whole lot more than you do in the regular season. Like, there's more of the game playing. Regular season, you're pretty strict with what you're going to do with your rotations, right? Like, Shea's playing the entire first quarter. He's sitting the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. He's playing the rest of the second. He's playing the entire third, and then sitting the first 6 minutes of the fourth unless we've won, and then he's sitting the entire fourth. Like, he has a very strict rotation of minutes. Most players do in the NBA. So Mark's not changing his rotation just because Wemby is coming off the bench. In the playoffs, again, that'll change. But in the regular season, Wemby coming off the bench is like, oh, well, now he's playing against the bench guys. He's playing Shea. The lineups they play with Shea are complete trash. Because it's Shea with, like, it's Shea and Isaiah Joe, who's fine. It's Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich, and, like, Jay Will. Like, all these guys are, like, fine players. But that's a complete bench mob of a unit who, like, they're fine, but, like, they're on the bench for a reason. They're not our star guys. He plays Shea with the worst possible combination because you have Shea out there. So Wemby coming off the bench just completely killed them. And I know, like, they had bigger problems than Wemby. De'Aaron Fox was killing them. Harrison Barnes was killing them. Like, they were getting murked. They couldn't stop anything. Their defense fell off against the Spurs. But I still think that just bringing those dudes off the bench like that in the regular season is kind of like a cheat code of, like, oh yeah, we're gonna play our best players against your trash ass players, and here's how we're gonna dominate you. All the teams should do this. More teams should think about this. Like, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna bring Luka off the bench. We're gonna play him against the eighth guys on the team.
He's been playing crazy, Wemby, coming off the bench. It's not. I wouldn't say it's even a hot take. It seems like a valid take at that. I will say though, you said about the bench, the rotations and the lineups that they have out there with Shea. I mean, that's much better than freaking JJ Redick keep putting out there Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Rui Hachimura. The most net negative lineup you could possibly put out there that can't guard anyone, and that's why we start off every first quarter 18-8, and then when we don't start off every fourth quarter 18-8, we have the fourth quarter that we had against the Detroit Pistons where we just got straight mollywopped like no one's business because the same lineup was out there. Luka, LeBron, and Rui Hachimura. We got to trade Rui. I'm sorry. I loved saying the name. Y'all remember the FMC fame, Rui Hachimura. Yeah. That was one of my favorite names ever in sports. But it's time. It's time we move on. We got to make a trade. We need some defense. We need a Herb Jones out here. We need a Jalen Smith, somebody that can give us some defense, that can spread the floor, that can also shoot. We need something because I can't deal with watching my Lakers just not be able to guard a parked car in a school crossing zone.
Yeah, the Lakers defense. I mean, we knew it was an issue. We just knew it was going to be an issue, and I do love the bit that, like, Luka shows up in the best shape ever, and then, like, 3 months later, it's like, he kind of looks like the same Luka he's always looked like, and the defense is the defense when it comes to Luka. It's not a good defensive team. Everyone knew it wasn't going to be a good defensive team. It's just like, can they outscore their problems? And for a while, against the bad teams, they certainly were, and they still will against the bad teams, but against good teams, like, it's gonna be an issue. Yeah, y'all gotta trade Rui. It feels like anybody can go except for Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. And yeah. I mean, it feels like LeBron can go if anybody's willing.
Yo, LeBron,
I just don't think anybody's gonna do it.
If you want a hot take, we were better without LeBron. We were better when it was just Reeves and Luka. out there, because then we got two guys who just put the ball in the hoop, and our defense it doesn't really have to have those deficiencies. And regardless of Reeves kind of being just an average defender, he at least puts effort out there. LeBron has looked so effortless. Oh my God, that Christmas Day game, how many offensive rebounds the Houston Rockets got, and they showed a highlight tape, and all of them were LeBron James not boxing out the guy he was supposed to be defending. He just doesn't box out. He doesn't do anything. He just stands around trying to get a rebound, but not boxing out, not doing what the fundamentals of getting a rebound is. LeBron just shows zero effort out there in regards to boxing out and in regards to rotational defense. He's just really bad right now. Money Mark in the chat saying Ayton is trash. Ayton is not trash in comparison to LeBron. LeBron on defense, Ayton shows effort. Ayton shows effort on defense in trying to protect the rim. LeBron does not show effort at all on defense. He shows effort on offense. I appreciate him for that. But you're 40. I understand every LeBron fan's gonna say, well, he's 41 years old. He shouldn't be. Yeah, no. If he's 41 years old and he's on an NBA basketball court, then guess what? We expect him to play some type of defense, some type of effort. And JJ Redick, how about you take some accountability? How about you watch all the stuff you used to say about Doc Rivers not taking any accountability, and you start taking some accountability instead of just throwing your whole team under the bus.
JJ Redick crashing out the way that he has. JJ Redick is kind of like a Nepo coach. In that, I know he doesn't. He's not the son of a player.
Well, he basically is the son of Coach K.
Yeah, but Coach K wasn't like the Lakers' longtime head coach or anything.
He would have been if they listened to me and Kobe.
Yeah. But JJ Redick had no coaching experience, none. He came in with he wasn't even like an assistant coach anywhere. He wasn't in the front office anywhere. At least like Steve Nash and Steve Kerr were like assistants and front office guys beforehand. Like JJ Redick was a talking head on ESPN who was very smart, but also looked a lot smarter because he's arguing with Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins, who just want to spout their hot takes and not use any data to back it up, while Redick used data to back it up. But he had no coaching experience. He was doing the podcast with LeBron, and then all of a sudden he's now coaching LeBron's team, and he's acting like a guy who's won like multiple championships. Like, dude, you got this job, the Lakers job. Mind you, this isn't the Hornets. If you want to do this on the Hornets, where like they're a young team and they have no winning culture or anything, and you want to try to like hold everybody accountable and bring a new mentality to the team, like, all right, fine. You can try to instill that there. You have the Lakers job, a team with championship aspirations, and you are acting like this when you've had no prior coaching experience. I'm like, maybe you got to look in the mirror. Maybe you got to look at your star players as well and realize that they ain't giving some of this effort either, and you gotta call them on that. But the JJ Redick experience has been very fun because he just throws a fit after every loss, and that's funny to me.
Oh, it's entertaining as hell. It's entertaining as hell, and it causes so much discourse within the Laker fan base and community that is always fun to kind of hear everybody talk about. So we'll see what happens with my Los Angeles Lakers, but I had to get that out after watching that Christmas Day game. Willow Nightingale, definitely better defender.
Yeah, I feel like she can box out at the very least, you know?
She could.
Some people out of the way. I mean, I would
for the listeners
on the block.
For the podcast listeners, it was C Delgado 6 who sent us a super chat donation saying better defender, LeBron or Willow Nightingale, and the answer is Willow Nightingale for sure. She'll show effort.
Yeah. I'm not fucking with Willow on the block. She'll push you the hell out the way. LeBron will just stand there and laugh with you like, this is fun. All right. Anything else hoops wise that you wanna talk about before we, I guess, jump into wrestling or something else?
Not really. Other than I would just say, despite the loss last night, the Knicks are the favorite to win the Eastern Conference for me right now. I like the Pistons, but I think that the Knicks are very motivated and know the opportunity at hand this year because everybody is now catching wind of the fact that the Boston Celtics for a flyer year is really doing well, and this is kind of scary. If Tatum comes back at 70%, they could be the biggest competition to the Knicks in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Celtics. Shout out to Jaylen Brown because there were doubts of like, oh, can he be the lead guy on the team, and how's that team gonna look without Tatum? Look, they were basically planning for a down year. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why they traded Drew. That's why they traded Porzingis because they didn't want to stay over the cap and the apron because they thought it was just going to be a down year. Like, why are we paying for this team when it's not a championship team anymore? And shout out, like, Jaylen Brown's carried them. The young guys have really stepped up as well. They got creative player. I forget his name, but he looks like the generic creative player. He's a great player. He's a fantastic player. But, and Missoula's got them, like, he's got them playing their asses off. So credit to Boston. Like, yeah, they're much better than I thought they were going to be, and it is a testament to Jaylen Brown. Like he's been great for them. Well,
He's been a top 10 player for me.
I still like the Knicks to win the East as well, but the Celtics coming back, or the Celtics being this good, and then Tatum coming back, like they're gonna be tough. I mean, the Celtics, you can barely hear me. My mic is literally right here, so I mean I can try to put it out a little bit more like that, but. Yeah, my mic is right in front of me. I can talk down like that. Get right up on the mic. Can you hear? Can you hear me now? But yeah, Tatum coming back is gonna be big. But like the Knicks beat the Celtics last year, and I realized Tatum got hurt. That's when he got hurt. But like they were up 3-1 in that series. They were up in that game 6 before Tatum got hurt. So I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, Tatum's injury is the reason the Celtics lost. Like, nah, they
were the better team
already. No, they said assholes.
You were quiet.
Compared to
asshole.
SP3, you were quiet assholes.
It's because I moved my mic today in front of me, so that's probably
usually it is in front of me and people can like see it, but I'm not at my normal setup. We're just fucking with you, Harlot, by the way. I hope you're SP3 and Joel have already run off viewers on this show. Doug and Dave have been run off.
I almost run off Harlot. I'm glad to see him in the chat. He said I was like an insufferable asshole or something the other day. It was cool. I laughed. They gave me a laugh. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's a compliment in my book.
now we are assholes instead of assholes. Assholes. It's 7 a.m. Now my tablet is 10 years old.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Harlot. Thanks for listening to us at 7 a.m.
Yes, appreciate you for that.
Do you need some coffee? I know I can't function without coffee. So
I'm pretty all right. My missus asked me about that the other day. She was like, "Do you like coffee?" I was like, "Occasionally," but I was like, "I don't need it."
I was asking Harlot. Maybe Harlot needs some coffee. Like to get on track here. We appreciate you, Harlot. We appreciate everybody in the chat. I apologize that I was low. I obviously don't know if I'm low because I'm just talking. So yeah, if you guys got to let me know if
What he said, I don't need this harassment.
I like that shaking is not all caps. It was all caps, and then for some reason shaking is not all caps. It's just the first letter is capitalized.
You have to read it like, I don't need this harassment. I'm shaking. I'm so upset.
I feel like Harlan's being sarcastic, Volub. I mean, maybe not. Maybe Harlan's truly offended. But I feel like they're being
There's
sarcastic.
no LOL or emojis in the comments, so I don't know how to take it.
I think they're more mad at the tablet than they are us.
Okay, fair.
I mean, maybe they're mad at us and the tablet. I don't know. Happy New Year, Harlot. Happy New Year. Don't start your New Year off like this. Come on now. You don't need to start yelling. Oh, they're not sarcastic. I just wanted to hear you both equally. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll yell in. Why are you yelling at the mic? Do I sound too loud now? Do I have to like hold the mic?
No, you're fine.
Every single
you're
time?
Fine.
All right.
You're fine.
All right.
You're like me on True Hill Heat. I got my other mic that I have to hold up like I'm cutting a promo. So there you go.
Yeah. I'll keep the mic right here. That way it's all equal. Then I'm going to start yelling, and then it's going to be way too loud for people. Then you're going to be pissed off. Like when I start yelling and bust speakers, which I've done before, and bust eardrums, which I've done.
Not too much that you have to yell about. We got to talk about AEW Dynamite.
I'm so mad at AEW Dynamite. I'm so angry at it. I don't know. I don't really have.
No, I know. I thought you were gonna say because someone didn't win the national championship. That's probably.
I mean that sucked. Like it was expected, you know. That's like being mad. I mean, Thea Hill ended up winning the women's North American title, but like that would have been me being mad at Thea Hill. Like, oh, why didn't she win the title? Like, I didn't expect her to win. I didn't expect Jack Barry to win. So I'm not going to be mad when my expectation was, yeah, of course they're going to lose. They're doing this match so they can lose. Like, all right, fine. Should they have won? Yes. I don't get mad about this stuff. You know that. Unless I'm fake outraged over things. I'll be fake outraged over certain things if you want me to be. I can feign some outrage over certain things, I'm sure. But I'm not actually mad at anything. Oh, you know what I am mad about? Actually, let's address this. You know what I truly am mad about? I don't need this Swerve and Hangman against Hobbs and Hook match. I don't. I thought it was 2 singles matches at first because that's what they made it sound like. Joe's like, Hook's, it's on site. He's going to choke you out. And Swerve, I'm bringing the meat with Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, oh, okay. And, you know, MJF was like, y'all need to get your wins up. So, and then you can challenge for my title. I was like, oh, okay. So they're doing 2 singles matches. And then Swerve is like lights out, tag team match next week. I'm like, what? Why aren't you doing singles matches? And the part that like upset me, not really, but like the part that I was like, why are you doing this? We just saw you guys beat Hobbs and Shibata. Shibata's more of a threat than Hook. I ain't taking Hook serious. I'm sorry. Hook ain't no threat to me. You can try all you want with Hook. He got killed when him and Hangman had that face-off at World's End, and the crowd did not care one bit. Crowd was like, can we not? Can we not do this? No, thank you for this. I don't buy Hook at this point. Like, yeah, it's fine. Like he's a guy, but like he's got to beat somebody, and I don't think they're beating Swerve and Hangman, but like they just beat Hobbs and Shibata in a tornado match, which is basically, I know Lights Out, they'll probably do some more crazier stuff than they did in the tornado match, but it's all no DQ style matches here. That truly upset me, SB3. This match, I'm so angry that they had the audacity to book this match for next week. I'm going to not watch. When the show ends and it says, oh, the lights are out, yeah, the lights are out, and that I am not watching the show anymore. You've turned me off from this show because of this tag team match. I don't want to watch it.
To be fair, I didn't have a problem with the opening segment. I enjoyed the opening segment, and also the whole Swerve hit Hangman teaming together. Would I team them together or have them keep working together? No, but This was much better than that whole segment in Hammerstein Ballroom. Oh my god, that was the worst segment I've seen from Hangman and Swerve and MJF in like months. Like that was the worst thing. I was like, you two baby faces are holding the heel hostage, making the heel the sympathetic figure while you cut promos about P. Diddy and all this other stuff. Oh, this all sucked. That segment sucked. So this segment in comparison was much better, and Max came off much better. He stopped being kind of the edgelord that everybody complains about, who is kind of like a sarcastic comic. He was more of the heel world champion who only focused on being the best wrestler in the world because he can find a way to cheat to win in every which way, but he's not going to give anybody a title shot. And I like the fact that they had multiple people coming after him. The Kenny Omega promo, that got me the most hyped because I was like, yes, Kenny Omega versus MJF. That's a fresh feud to do. That's a fresh program. Hopefully that's the main event of Revolution. I would love that. Give me Kenny Omega in the world title scene so I could have more of a case to shut up Jeremy Lambert with his Klay Thompson comparison.
Klay Thompson has requested a trade. He's like, I'm tired of playing mediocre basketball on the Dallas Mavericks. Send me to a championship contender. Let me go to Denver. Send me to Denver. Send me to New York. Let me go to a championship contender. I'm tired of slumming it with the Mavericks. I respect Klay Thompson's trade request.
Kenny Omega,
he's earned that. He's
Curry.
earned that.
He is Steph Curry. He still got it. He still got some in the tank. So I'm glad he's going back into the world title picture. I like Hangman and Swerve, where the whole thing that they said the partnership was about is that they both want the world title. So they're kind of working together to go after the world title. I can understand that, and I can look past my disagreement with them working together in this way, in the fact that they're still going after the world title. So that's why they're basically their motivations align with one another, and they can beat up security guards. They kind of went too heavy on the beating up security guards on the episode. If you're going to do this segment, you probably don't need another segment where you're beating up security guards, but still, this was fine. And Samoa Joe, most of all, was probably one of the bigger highlights that not everybody's talking about from the segment, because this felt like the first like really motivated, non kind of lackadaisical heel promo that we've gotten from Joe since before he won the world title back at Full Gear. So I like the promo that he cut to set up the tag team matchup. Swerve making it a lights out matchup kind of worked against what MJF said. He said, y'all need to get your wins up. So it doesn't need to be a singles match. It just needs to be a tag team match, but you made it lights out, so it doesn't count. So that was weird.
Even a tag team match. All right, you won in the tag team division. Go face FTR now. That's what I'd say about MJF.
He didn't say get your singles wins up. He didn't say get your singles wins up. He said get your wins up. So a win is a win is a win.
Rocks. Oh, well, if I'm MJF looking back at it, I'd tell him to kick rocks. But yeah, y'all want a tag team match. Big deal. Go face FTR. They ain't doing anything right now. You need singles wins. This is a singles title. Idiots.
Hey, no.
You need singles wins.
He said wins. So a win is a win to me. So I appreciate them doing that. But yeah, I like the opening segment because it made the world title scene kind of seem vibrant, and that's how I felt about the world title scene coming out of World's End. I was like, MJF being the champion, it's a lot more interesting than it was the first time MJF won the championship, where the company was kind of in a state of flux coming out of Brawl Out, and there wasn't a lot of contenders. It was just mainly logical that he was going to feud with Bryan Danielson coming out of that, despite Ricky Starks having the first defense against MJF back in 2022. This one, him winning at World's End, I was like, man, you got the swerve feud that they kind of set up in the build to World's End. You got Hangman and his issues where they feuded throughout 2025, but they only had 2 pay-per-view matches and Hangman won the both. So now that MJF is the champion, Hangman has a right to get another opportunity. Joe is still in the mix in some way with being the former champion as well. And then it was the Kenny Omega report from Fightful Select about Kenny, people pushing for Kenny to get back in this title picture. I'm like, please, I've been saying this for a year. I've been saying this since he came back at last year's World's End, that Kenny Omega needs to be in the world title picture. He's one of your biggest biggest stars ever, one of your biggest draws ever. You need to put them in the world title picture. So I'm excited for Revolution if it's going to be Kenny Omega and MJF. And I'm excited overall for MJF's title reign. I would have added Bandito in some way into the opening segment to just not make it feel like he's just a guy that's getting the first title defense. He should have been involved as one of the people. Like, as MJF's running out, maybe it's Bandito. We see Bandito on another part of the audience just watching all of this with Brody King, Brodito. They did add the segment later on in the night, but he should have been part of that opening segment to me. But that's my only nitpick from the opening segment. I thought it was a good way to kind of set the field, set the scene for what's the world title picture going into 2026.
They did do the backstage segment later on, and they had the Brody and Bandito promo along with the confrontation of MJF. I thought that they were going to do the MJF leaves and then here comes Bandito for his match. Obviously, the way that it played out, they couldn't quite do that because MJF ran off instead of just leaving on his own accord. So they couldn't do that like on the ramp, kind of passing by type of thing. But I thought that's how they were going to set it up when MJF was opening the show. The Kenny Omega thing. I hope people know it's a bit that I'm calling him Klay Thompson. But the reason I call him Klay Thompson is because I'm tired of him doing trio stuff. That was the whole point of it, is he became Klay Thompson because he's just doing trio stuff. And it's like, you're just a dude who you're getting your shots up, but like, I don't really care about it right now. I want you in the world title picture. That's where I think Kenny Omega belongs. That's where he should always be, honestly. So I'm very happy that he is in the world title picture and that he is going to do a singles match for like the first time since All In, right? All In would have been his last
All In Texas
singles match. Yeah, so I'm very happy that he's finally going to do a singles match. I will continue to frame it as Klay Thompson has requested a trade so I can keep the bid alive. But no, I'm very excited that Kenny Omega's finally doing single stuff because that's where he should be. That's where I don't know why Kenny Omega is not always at like the forefront of the world title, division, because that's where he should be.
Yeah.
And the trio stuff, especially like, okay, you're doing stuff with the Elite. I've seen this a million times. Can we do something different here? And he gets away from Don Callis family, which is another plus because I'm tired of that as well. I don't need any more Kenny and Don Callis family interactions. No, I'm all for Kenny being in the world title picture.
I will say they missed out on an opportunity. One thing that a big nitpick that I would have like just added to last night's show is follow up with the Don Callis family because they were such an important part of the Continental Classic. Yeah, there was nothing at all. And I understand Okada and Takeshita are probably in Japan getting ready for Wrestle Kingdom, but they did really great post-match promos at World's End. So just put it all together. Put the one of Okada being depressed after he lost the Continental title. Put Takeshita saying that it's not over after he got screwed over in the semifinal, and then Fletcher said that he's going to have some serious conversations with the group when everybody is back in AEW. So you should have just done like a minute and a half just splicing together those three promos, and that could have been at least some type of follow-up from what happened with the Don Callis family at World's End and the Continental Classic, where they were the focal point throughout the entire tournament.
I was very surprised that they didn't, at the very least, air that Fletcher promo where you mentioned it, but he was also like, where was the screwdriver and everything. I was surprised they didn't air that, and I was surprised they didn't have like Fletcher like kind of like confront Don and be like, what happened here? What's going on? So yeah, I know Okada is not there and Takeshita is not there because they're in Japan. At least I assume. I mean, the show's not for a few days. Maybe they could have done something. They could have taped something at World's End at the very least. But I'll give them benefit of the doubt in that they were not there for this show. I assume Fletcher was there, though. And Don Callis, assume he was there as well. Regardless, you could have taped something off of this. But yeah, to have no Don Callis family when they were everything going into World's End. Like, they were the focal point. And they were the focal point at World's End, too. I know Jon Moxley ended up winning the tournament, but the story of the 3 matches was Don Callis family centric on all 3 matches. So yeah, to have no follow up on that, it feels like you missed you missed something there. But I guess they'll do something next Dynamite, which is fine. But now it's a little cooled after that. Like this was literally your follow up show. So if this was your follow up show, this was your only opportunity to do something. Now next week, you'll have stuff to do. It just doesn't feel like it'll be quite as fresh. Yeah, I'm with you that was weird that there was no follow up to that, given how much of a focal point that was going into World's End and at World's End.
Yeah,
we did have.
I do appreciate them though, still adding the video recap of the pay-per-view. Ever since we made that complaint that they didn't do it, they've been doing it. So I want to mention that they did do that again.
They listen to us sometimes. I feel like somebody watches this show and is like, oh, you know what? That's a good point. In between all of Jeremy's terrible ideas, sometimes the collective, mainly SP3, has a good point. On this.
To be fair, Tony does follow both of us.
He does. He does. Speaking of the Continental Classic and the Continental Champion and the Don Callis family, we did have Jon Moxley and Josh Alexander for the Continental Eliminator match on this. So I don't know why Josh Alexander just didn't try to get the 20 minutes so he could get the title shot. I don't know why more people don't do that. When you know there's a time limit, just try to run out the time limit so you can get the title shot. Why are you trying so hard for? Just get the time limit. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And he had to abuse his leg throughout the whole matchup. He was just going after his leg consistently. And I understand he was trying to get the win to prove that he can beat Jon Moxley. And especially after 2 of the other Don Callis family members weren't able to beat him at World's End. And now he's 3-0 in his last 3 matches against the Don Callis family. One member did beat him, Kanosuke Takesha. We should mention that in the tournament. So he would probably be the only one that is viable to get or able to get another opportunity at the Continental Championship. But I really liked the matchup. I thought it was a very good matchup. They worked hard. It was kind of hard hitting. The leg work was really well done. Moxley's selling of the leg, it continues to be one of his great improvements, because I remember a few years ago I used to complain about Jon Moxley selling in certain matches. He would have the match with Tomohiro Ishii where he would get too much into kind of the New Japan fighting spirit of his all and not really sell, but his selling of the leg over the last month has been really well done and told that story really well, at World's End and then in this matchup here, and then him pulling out kind of the same way he beat Kyle Fletcher to beat Josh Alexander. And then the tease at the end that I thought we were going in the direction coming out of World's End, that we were going towards a Death Riders versus Don Callis family rivalry, but now they're throwing in the Hurt Syndicate to Shelton Benjamin being the next one who's going to get an eliminator against Moxley, and that's for next week's Dynamite.
Say that last part again. My internet cut out.
No, I was saying they threw the Hurt Syndicate instead, because I thought coming out of World's End it was going to be Death Riders and Don Callis family, and we got some of that again in this Josh Alexander matchup. But then they had Shelton Benjamin and MVP come out, and then it was confirmed later that it's going to be Moxley and Shelton next week on Dynamite. And I like the promo that Moxley cut after the matchup, even though it is very confusing when he is cutting these very babyface promos, and then you have Wheeler Yuta very much heel promo, and then Daniel Garcia caps it off with a mixture of them both.
Yeah, I noticed that with the promos as well. Moxley's definitely a babyface right now, but they're also still feuding with Darby Allin, who's very much a babyface. So the rest of the guys are heels. At some point, they either all got to get on the same page, or they just got to jump Moxley out and go and let him be babyface ace out here and do his own thing, and they can continue to be Death Rider heel group. Because right now there is a little bit of mixed messaging with them, and I think some people are fine with it, but I also know that there are a lot of fans who are this is a little, they got to get on the same page. They can't be back and forth here with things because it is confusing. It is a turnoff of like, I can't buy into the group as baby faces because everyone else is a heel, but I can't buy him as heels because here's Jon Moxley being like the ultimate rah-rah babyface right now. So you got to make up your mind on this stuff. Shelton, being the next challenger for this is fine. One thing I don't like about the Continental title being like a title and being like a thing that's defended is it kind of does make the tournament feel a little less than, because you go through this entire tournament, which is great. It's a great tournament, and this year it was a really great tournament. One of the best tournaments they've ever done. Tremendous tournament from start to finish. Thought they had really some of their best matches in Continental Classic history on this tournament. But then it's like Josh Alexander can just get a title shot if he survives 20 minutes with Jon Moxley. Shelton Benjamin can just get a title shot if he survives 20 minutes with Jon Moxley. It's like you guys didn't do anything to get this title shot, really. You didn't have to go through this big old tournament to do this. And this is one thing I think they dropped the ball on in previous years, is that they haven't done enough of like, if you lose in the tournament,
Yes.
like, and then win the champion, like that person doesn't get the shot. That pissed me off about the first year when Eddie won the thing, and then he's facing whoever, and it's like, you got pinned by this person. Why aren't you defending the title against this person?
No, I will give them credit because his first challenger on pay-per-view is Bryan, because Bryan beat him in the tournament for Eddie at when he faced him at Revolution 2024. That was because Bryan beat him in the tournament prior to Eddie getting his win back in the semifinals. But there was someone else. I know he did. Yeah, he did defend it in the months because they have always have 10 weeks until Revolution to start the show. So I understand them doing kind of eliminator. I think the eliminators are fine in regards to this, because I like the fact that you don't have to get the win, you just have to last the 20 minutes. But it's up to the commentary and the booking to put an emphasis on the fact commentary's talking about, oh, he just beat two Don Callis family members, Kyle Fletcher and Kazuchika Okada. I'm literally the first person who mentioned that there was a Don Callis family member that did beat Jon Moxley in this tournament. It was Konosuke Takeshita. Commentary needs to be the one to mention that and say that Excalibur needs to be like, well, Takeshita got to beat him in the tournament, so Takeshita should be in line for the Continental Championship. However, Takeshita right now is over in Japan. He's getting ready for the Tokyo Dome. Something quick and easy during the matchup is to address the fact that there are people in line for an opportunity. And then that could have been a great way for Tony Schiavone to respond and be like, well, the only other person that beat Moxley in the tournament was Claudio Castagnoli. Do you think that we'll get another a rematch between the Death Riders members? Like, this is how you create conversation within the matchup that elevates the title, it elevates the tournament, and it elevates those victories for those guys. Commentary is not doing the job. That's where the fault is, and the booking, because the booking, the guy in charge, Tony, should be telling them, you guys need to mention that and emphasize that these are the people that are in line for an opportunity because they have beaten Moxley in the past. Or even someone like a Kyle O'Reilly before the tournament started. He beat Moxley at Full Gear. He should be in line for a Continental Championship opportunity, and because he wasn't able to be in the tournament because Moxley attacked him. All of those things, you have 3 contenders already just by mentioning that. And I think the commentary missed out on that opportunity. I agree with Power Driver Finisher. I didn't think Tony Schiavone was good at all last night on commentary. I was struggling to listen to commentary. Excalibur was actually really good on commentary. So it kind of balanced it out where commentary was just there. But like Tony Schiavone was not good at all, and just him saying just cliche things of this is a dynamite moment, and I'm just like, dude, shut up. Like, Excalibur has to do all the heavy lifting, and it was such a noticeable change that Danielson was not there last night.
Danielson was definitely missed. I mean, he's always missed when it comes to commentary. Going back to my original point, you're right that Eddie did face Danielson. The person I was saying was Brody King. Brody King beat Eddie in the tournament, never got a shot. And then last year, Garcia went to a draw with Okada, never got a shot. Fletcher beat Okada, didn't get a shot until like a year later. But because he got a shot in September, which again, not exactly a big follow up when he beat him in November. So, and that is one thing I wish they would do differently with the Continental. Like if you lose, because that's one thing New Japan is very good at, is the G1. Whoever wins the G1, basically whoever you lost to, like the winner of the tournament, whoever they lost to in the round robin, like that person always gets a shot. Now the past few years, they're like, well, I'm doing my title shot like the next pay-per-view anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't have the out. But before it was always Power Struggle, or Power Struggle is the November show, right? Yeah. It was always like Power Struggles, like whoever beat the G1 winner in the round
in October.
Yeah. Yes, like they would always get a shot to like win the briefcase and everything. Like it's such a simple thing, too. Like you're basically setting up your next month of stories in the Continental Classic by having that person that you know is going to win the Continental Classic lose in the round robin portion. Like it's right there for you. You've literally already done the work to do this, and then for some reason they're just like, we're just gonna forget about who actually lost in this turn. It doesn't make sense to me that they do that. Like Claudio beat Moxley in the tournament. I know they're Death Riders and everything, but like, shouldn't Claudio, and hopefully they will get there. Money Mark saying Claudio should face Mox at Revolution. You know, if they do the kind of Death Rider split and certain people go heel, certain people stay babyface, you can do Claudio and Moxley, and you can come back to the fact that Claudio beat Moxley in the tournament. And if they do that, like I will be the first to say, like, good job. It was there for you. This was layup booking right here. And if they don't do that, I'll continue to be like, what the fuck? Why are you not following this stuff up? It's right there. This is layup booking. It's right there for you.
Yeah, like I thought that, I think I did an article or feature for Russell Talk for like predicting the matches for Revolution, and I said Takeshita gets the title opportunity at Revolution because he'd be coming off of possibly losing this Sunday the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and I love their match. I think that Takeshita and Moxley had probably the most underrated matchup of the Continental Classic this year, because that match was fantastic, and I want to see them run it back at the Revolution with how Moxley performed on Saturday at World's End. He had two great performances against Okada and Fletcher, especially the Fletcher matchup. So I would love to see him run it back with Takeshita there. But Claudio's another option there. They gotta make these the tournament, basically the stories that they told in the tournament, they should roll over after the tournament. You started a whole bunch of great things, and it shouldn't just be the winner gets to continue the story and Moxley continue his whole redemption arc. It should be other people. It should be Kevin Knight getting some more opportunities after he beat Okada in the tournament and beat Darby Allin. He should get more singles opportunities, or you should put Jet Speed into tag team title contention, because they do have a pass with FTR, but say that they are motivated to now win the tag team championships because they performed so well in the Continental Classic. Like, you got to continue these stories, and I don't think they did a good job at that, spreading out the wealth as far as storytelling following the Continental Classic on last night's show.
And they've got time. The next big show is Revolution, which is not till March. So I know they got like Grand
middle
Slam.
Of March now.
Yeah, I know they got like Grand Slam and everything, but that's their next big pay-per-view. And hopefully they start to circle back around to a lot of the stories they set up in the Continental Classic, because it's like we've been saying, like, you did the work with the Continental Classic. Now all you got to do is just tap it in. Just lay the ball up on the fast break here. You got the steal. You par 4. You're already there in 2 hits. Like, it's right there for you. You've done all the work. Now just easy follow up with all of this stuff. Hopefully they do, and they got time. I don't want to fully criticize when they could come around to it, but on last night's show, they certainly didn't do their best follow up to everything that they did set up. One thing they did follow up on, Death Riders conglomeration / Tony Storm, and doing a mixed trios tornadoes match. Okay. This wasn't bad or anything.
Why did you have to reheat these nachos?
Like,
you couldn't cook anything new, Tony?
It wasn't bad or anything, but I'm like, it's not going to top what you did at World's End.
No.
Like, because one, you had more people to play with in that match. Two, like you did all the spots you were gonna do. And then they do the Toni Storm, Orange Cassidy dancing thing again. And like it's fun, but it's like I literally just saw this. And now you've taken away of like almost the organic nature of it by just doing it here. And it's like, all right, cool. We saw it again. Again, it was good. I like the Roddy and Marina interactions. I like that the women and the men actually fight each other. And it's not, hey, the men have to fight the men and the women have to, like, it's good stuff when AEW does that. But we literally just saw a much better version of this match like 5 days ago. And so it's like, all right, we're just going to do it again because we got to fill some time here. And it got a good reaction at this show. I do think that played a part in it. And Tony's like, oh, this got over. Let's just run it back here. At the same time, like, do something a little bit differently. You know, next week we're going to get Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy against Claudio and Marina.
But that's the thing. They should have just done that last night. That would have been at least somewhat different, where you're cutting the field in half instead of just dropping two people. You're cutting the field in half. You're focusing on the whole Toni and Orange Cassidy dynamic. That's the whole reason why he reheated the nachos and gave us this matchup last night, because he wanted to redo that spot. And of course, we wouldn't have gotten the Roddy and Marina parts, which it was the best part for me on Saturday, and it was probably the best part of last night's show with Roddy breaking her back. Not the first time he's broken her back, I heard. But yes, that was probably the best part. But I would have just cut it down. I would have done something a little bit different here. But it was fine. It was fine for what it was. I don't know if that should have been the opener of the show. I think that I agree with what you were saying earlier, like the Bandito transition from going from the world title opening segment to Bandito in the opening segment and the opening matchup, talking about how he's the next one in line for the world title. I think that would have went well as far as pacing wise.
Yeah, I would have opened with Bandito and Beast Mortos as well, because it did feel weird that like you do the MJF promo and then everything that followed. Look, I love this backstage with Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm. Like, they're so good. Yeah. The dynamic I
love this
of them
love triangle.
Yes, yeah. The dynamic of those three is great, and specifically the justification with juxtaposition with Orange Cassidy and just being like, sure, whatever, and Toni Storm being Toni Storm is very funny to me, and Mina being like the jealous lover there is very fun as well. But it did feel a little bit like, okay, we're gonna do a promo, and now we're gonna go to a backstage, and now we will go to a match. And it's like, can we just do like some matches? I've had that complaint with AEW for, it feels like a lot of weeks. It's like, man, y'all used to open so hot with these matches, and now it's just too much of like cool down before you actually get to the actions. Like, oh, we're going to do a promo, or we're going to do a backstage, or we're going to do a video package, or we're going to do, let's run down the card. It's like, remember when y'all used to, like, the two competitors were in the ring and the show would start and the bell would ring and y'all would just start going after there? Like, can you bring that back once for old time's sake? Just for me.
To be fair, they did, they did that 2 weeks ago. They did that 2 weeks ago with Roddy and John in Manchester, where the Holiday Bash, where they immediately rang the bell as the show went on the air. Okay. That's the last time that they did it.
All right. In fairness to them and slightly fairness to me, I watched the live feed of that show in the afternoon. I did not watch the television feed, so I saw like the entrances and everything. So I just assumed it was the same thing. I didn't realize that it was, they did that. All right. Well, good on them. I'd like to see it them do it more. How about that? I hope they don't need to do, I mean, sorry, I misread Xeno Hours thing. But he's saying testing the waters for possible intergender match. I mean, they've done the intergender tag team matches plenty of times at this point. I don't know if they're going to do a full on like intergender match. I don't think so. I thought Xeno Hours talking about intergender tag team titles, and like, we don't need more. And
Tony loves titles.
I know, but we don't need that. I'm sorry. Yeah. We just No, we just don't need
We don't
it,
need more. We don't need more titles unless he's gonna bring back the unified title, and Okada or Takeshita unifies the TNT National, Continental, and International championships, and we just make that the unified championship with all the belts.
And make the trios titles intergender. I'm not fully mad at that, honestly, because like, what else are they doing with the trios titles right now? Like, when were the last time those titles were defended? You know, like, yeah. Now I'm curious.
I think the last time was Hangman, Hook, and Eddie Kingston against the Ops ahead of, I want to say, Full Gear.
Was that a titles match?
Yeah, that was a title match because remember Hook made the challenge for it to be for the title, and they lost that because Hook tapped out very quickly to the torture rack. Yeah, that was before Full Gear. So it's been at least a month. So yeah, we need to put some more focus back on the trios championships. If you're gonna have all these titles, at least book them well, so we don't complain about all these titles being around and not a lot of them even matter.
It'll be 2 months by the time the next show airs because November 5th was that match. So they're not going to do a title match unless they add it to Collision, I guess. Tony's going to listen to this, be like, you know what? Fuck it. Trios titles match on Collision. The Ops against JD Drake, Anthony Henry, and Adam Priest.
No, beef. And beef. Sure, beef. The Workhorsemen and beef.
Yeah. Just give us a here damn trios titles match.
You asked for it. You asked for it, guys. Here you go. But yeah, no, to mention the Bandito and Mortos matchup, a lot of fun.
That was great.
I love an all action freaking less than 10-minute matchup, and that's what that was. And it had the fun spot with the Olay and the Matador, which was hilarious with Bandito being a Matador to Beast Mortos, and Beast Mortos trying to talk himself out of doing it. Like he's like, no, damn it. That was fun. I that actually popped me a little bit. And then Bandito got so much height on that dive to the outside when he put on the cape like he was Superman and stuff. And then him showing off the strength with the 21 plex with the X knee. Bandito's just so good, so good.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna beat MJF. He should, to be funny. I do think the Diamond Ring will be on the line. I think they'll set that up next week. I know MJF was like dismissive, was like, I got 6 of those, but I also think like this was part of the reason why like MJF won the title and they gave the Diamond Ring title winner a title shot so they could basically get the another Diamond Ring on MJF. It is very funny that MJF is like, I got 6 of those, and meanwhile they're like, he lost his only Diamond Ring. It got stolen and pawned in Philadelphia and everything. He's like, yeah, he's got a bunch of them. It's fine. It's okay.
I got 6 of these things. I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Now Bandito's so good though. He's so good. I know the Wrestler of the Year voting is ended and everything, but I imagine for most people he was top 3. Honestly, like top 5 easily, top 3.
Yeah, top 5. I had him in. I think I don't know if I had him in my top 5, but I know in ring as far as this in ring.
Yeah, in ring. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, most outstanding. I know Wrestler of the Year is different. Yeah, most outstanding.
Yeah, most outstanding, best in ring. Yeah, he was my number 1. I said that we just dropped this morning over on SI Wrestling, the Takedown on SI YouTube channel. We did like a near 2-hour discussion roundtable where we talked about those awards because everybody's been talking about the awards. Why can't we? So we talked about that, and I was like, yeah, I think Bandito was the best in-ring wrestler. I know Will Ospreay won it, and I had Ospreay in my top 5. I had forgotten that I had him in my top 5, but Bandito was number 1 with a bullet for me, and he was also my comeback wrestler of the year. So like Bandito. And then for our True Heel Heat, our 9th annual Heaties, Bandito won Comeback Wrestler of the Year, and Brodito won Tag Team of the Year. So he was checking the boxes in so many different ways, and he ranked really highly on our top 10 that's dropping today for True Heel Heat as well, because Bandito in the ring, it's kind of what I call like a Will Ospreay year, where you're just overwhelmingly the best in ring that you're gonna get into the conversation for wrestler of the year. Like the last couple of years, Ospreay's been one or two for wrestler of the year when he doesn't you can't really say he checks the box in a big way as like a draw or like the biggest star, the number one star of his company. But Will Ospreay's just been so extraordinary in the ring that he's been one or two in 2023, 2024, and he would have ranked really highly in 2025 as well. I think Bandito kind of filled that void that Ospreay left behind in August when he had his neck surgery, and he's been the standout, stellar, outstanding wrestler of this year.
Yeah, when I said wrestler of the year, I meant more in ring. I realized there's a difference. That's why I needed to clarify. But yeah, in ring, that's why I said, like, I feel like everyone probably has him top 3 and easily top 5. And I don't know why he'd be below 3. But yeah, if you have him number 1, like, I can't even really argue against that, because every match I feel like was just something spectacular and something. He obviously had his bigger standout matches, but at the very least, like, I don't do star ratings, but I feel like the low level Bandito match was still like 3.5 stars or something. Like, I think the worst Bandito match, and it was still 3.5 stars. So he was
having bangers with Gringo Loco on episodes of ROH TV.
Hey, Gringo Loco's great. We're not gonna.
I know Gringo Loco's great, but he's not like he's getting pushed as a top star in ROH or AEW. He just showed up at that Chicago show when they were doing the residency, and he had a banger with him as well. Like him and Gringo Loco always have great matches together. I've seen them a couple of times have good ones, but yeah, Bandito, he could just have a regular match on ROH TV. He went over to CMLL. He had a 5-star matchup with Masquerada Dorada, had a banger of a matchup with Mystico, had that tag team matchup at the joint show that they had with AEW, ROH, and New Japan. Like, just everywhere he went, it didn't matter if it was singles, if it was multi-man action, it didn't matter if it was AEW in America, if it was CMLL in Mexico, if it was ROH taping or ROH pay-per-view, Bandito delivered.
I was going to... Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought. Apologies, everybody. I feel bad for in this whole Bandito conversation? Mascara Dorada. Because for some reason, they were like a team at World's End, and the announcers are like, what a great win for them in the tag team division. Like, they're going to pick up momentum. I was like, is it Bandito, like, part of a team that just won the tag team titles?
I was so confused. I said that on the review. I was like, what are they talking about? I was like, Brodito were just tag team champions. Brodito literally cut a promo saying they're still going to be a tag team, and y'all are talking about Dorada and Bandito?
Yeah, I was like, what? Why is this a thing? And then Dorado is nowhere to be seen last night. Brody King's just back and is like, yeah, we're good. Here's our handshake. And when Bandito wins a title, I get the first title shot and everything. I'm like, where's Dorada? Why are you whoring around here, Bandito? What's going on? You're with Dorado 1 week, Brody King back to him. Do you think Brody King didn't watch the pay-per-view because he wasn't part of it, and so Bandito was just cheating on him in plain sight? Of he's not watching. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. He won't know. And then Brody was back at the show and was like, "Oh yeah, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened while you were gone, amigo. I just went out there with my diamond ring. It's all good."
And Brody knows. That's why Brody talked him into getting the first shot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
We got a story brewing. There's a story brewing.
I like how we just created this Bandito Brody King Dorada triangle out of nothing.
Yeah, you need more than one love triangle going on AEW television. So why not? Why not?
Ricochet beat Jack Perry, retained the national championship as kind of expected. It was a strong match. It wasn't my favorite thing on the show, mainly because Jack Perry lost, and Luchasaurus is legitimately injured with a shoulder injury, which is unfortunate because it felt like Jack Perry and Luchasaurus were probably going to be doing tag team stuff sooner rather than later. But then Jack got inserted into the Continental Classic, and he had a really good showing in the Continental Classic. I said this on the review show last week, the Christmas review shows, but Jack Perry as a heel, as much as I love doing a bit with Jack Perry as a heel, not a very good worker, not really his forte when it comes to this stuff. Jack Perry is like an underneath baby face where like he's selling the ankle and everything. It's like, this guy rules. Like, this is his calling right here.
That Fletcher matchup is like the best matchup he's had since the Bryan match a year ago. Like, yeah, he's so much better as a baby face, just being the underdog baby face who has to fight from underneath. I said that when we were talking about the first match he had in the Continental Classic against Okada, that was Jungle Boy right there, the Jungle Boy that really got over with the fans, and we saw it even more throughout the rest of the tournament. So hopefully this gives him a chance to kind of explore being a singles babyface for a little bit. Hopefully Luchasaurus gets back quickly, because it did feel like Jurassic Express lost a little bit of momentum, but I kind of think that the injury kind of explains why they kind of leaned against putting them in the tag team scene as much as they were initially when they returned at All Out.
I don't know if it's a hot take, but here's a throw it out there idea. We need something in the trios, right? The trios titles aren't really going anywhere. Jacking off Jet Speed. What do you think?
Whoa. Wow, sir. JJS.
I beat you to it, greater than Harrock. I beat you to it. Jacking off Jet Speed is what we're going with here.
I was just calling them Jurassic Jet Speed.
Nah, that's lame.
But lame. Jacking off Jet Speed, I'm sure that will work out better for them.
New trios champions. Jacking off Jet Speed. That's what I'm going for.
Jacking off Jet Speed. you get freaking what's his name? Mikey Ruckett's gotta make a new theme song. Jacking off Jet Speed. They jacking off and they doing it really fast. Jacking off Jet Speed.
This is good. This is good. You should send this to Mikey Ruckus. You may have hit enter before it came across your feed. SP3 will confirm I said it live before it came through in the chat. So
yes, that is true.
But because our live feed is actually like 10 seconds behind what the chat sees or what is on YouTube, so that's why sometimes we'll say stuff that the chat immediately also says, and unfortunately we're on the same wavelength as the chat, which isn't a good sign for us or the chats, honestly. But yes, I did technically say that live to SP3 before it came through on the chat, but people in the chat probably saw it in the chat before it came through what they were watching. But greater than hard, great minds think alike. We're not here to argue semantics of who said it first. We're here to praise each other.
Y'all can jack off Jet Speed together.
That's right. We're the leaders of the jack off Jet Speed movement. We're first in line on our knees, Hold on, hold on. I gotta set my mic.
I think you muted yourself.
It gets too loud when you jack off. Sometimes you gotta keep it down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what we're going here. Willow Nightingale's the new champion. I apologize for my terrible setup for Willow, which is like the biggest thing on the show. And I'm over here.
Best thing on the show.
Yes, the biggest and best thing, yes. And we're over here making jack off jokes. Yes, C. Delgado, it is the AEW version of yeeting. I did this months ago, maybe. I guess it is funnier because I'm red. It just looks like I'm cracking up at my own jokes, which is fair, but I'm so fucking red. It's bad.
Yet you have gotten more red. More
Whoa.
redder.
Oh God, Sean's here. Sean's gonna
this
wonder.
this counter programming guy, WWE in the flesh. Over here,
Oh, Sean.
he's counter programming AE Ramble today, having sad sap after Dynamite.
How are you, Sean? Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, Sean.
You're muted, I think. Your mic's not on. I can't hear you. Nobody can hear
He
you.
pulled an SB3.
There we go.
Is this toilet bowl winner SP3 talking to me right now?
Sean's here to brag about
Mister,
his
I
fantasy
can't
football
log in.
team.
SP3. I can't log in. Oh no, I've got 4 kickers on my team. Oh no.
I do? I don't even know.
Half my roster on IR. Oh no, I can't win.
You guys,
You know what's
no one
funny?
will even screenshot it for me. We'll screenshot it.
It's kind of poetic that it was you and Jarrett in that toilet bowl because Jarrett deserved it after not getting you that info.
Thank you.
Yeah, fair.
I agree.
Jerry got karma on that.
Also, like, at what point do we raise the criteria of what wrestling media is for this wrestling media league? Like, at what point?
I'm out. If that's the case, I'm done.
I mean, listen, I do find it great that, like, I'm in there with Jarrett and Riccacino, like people whose day jobs are pretty much covering football. And not only am I better at them at wrestling, I'm better at them at football, apparently. 2 out of 3 years. So go figure. Well, we're gonna get Jeff Passan in our baseball fantasy league, and I'll beat him too.
Nice.
How about that?
Nice.
Good guy,
How you doing,
Jeff
Sean?
Passan.
Happy New Year.
I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
I'm red, as you can tell. I'm very red for some reason.
What happened?
I'm terrible, Sean. I'm frozen.
red?
No
Like-
one can hear me.
Physically red, like the Chevelle song, Red.
No,
the red.
no, like look at his face.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Why is your
even
face
more-
red, man? You wasted.
Yeah, I wish. No, my face is red because am I frozen? Okay, let's try to all get this out of my face is red because everyone in my household is sick. I got multiple people going to the hospital. I've been sleeping on a concrete floor the last 2 nights, Sean. I'm doing this from a bunker
Jeremy.
in my house.
Jeremy.
You're making me work on New Year's Eve.
Jeremy,
It's
I
New
thought-
Year's
I
Eve,
thought-
man.
I thought we had this conversation. Leave the complaints and the excuses in 2025. We're here to
No.
grind.
No, I'm tired.
We're here to lock in.
Yeah.
Sources say that Fightful was very impressed with Jeremy Lambert working New Year's Eve.
Sean's always funny because I get mad of like, oh, you said we don't have to do anything on New Year's and Christmas, and then I put it in the chat. He's like, quit making excuses. Like, I'm literally the one doing it, though. I'm complaining, but I'm also the one who does all of the work.
Yeah, so.
Quit your belly aching. Do it.
I'm allowed to get mad. I'm the one who's actually doing the work. Oh, Andrew was on last.
Oh,
night
I'm
to
sorry,
tell me
Jeremy.
this.
I didn't know that you had a new video game coming out called Part-Time and Bitch 2K26. Maybe I should have known about
I
that.
wish. I
Before-
wish I was doing part-time, and I need that Roman Reigns schedule. I need it. I've earned it.
But
I
then you
earned
got
it
to get
after this
written off
week.
like 6 times
Yeah.
a year. Like, we got to put you through a
ain't-
barricade.
I don't want to see y'all till Christmas. All right. I ain't coming back until Christmas.
Oh, my God.
I'm tired, Sean. I haven't slept in my bed in a week. A week, Sean.
Why?
I've not slept because everyone's sick. My wife is sick. My wife was at the hospital an hour ago.
Was she?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Everyone
I'm gonna
is
message her
sick.
and tell her I hope she's doing better.
Everyone is sick. Literally, Sean, you know how many kids I got? Every single one of them is sick. All 1,800 of them are sick. I'm the only one surviving out here. My mom got sick when I visited
Cher
her.
Delaware and her 74 kids were also sick.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus,
What's wrong with all these people?
Sick.
Everyone's sick.
Don't
Tired,
leave the
Sean.
house. That's what I don't do. And I don't
Well, I
let
left
anybody that lives here leave the house either.
Fair. Well, I left the house
Smart
to
I
go
mean,
to...
listen, I'm honestly dreading it because my wife goes back to work on Monday, and I know she's going to be sick within a week of going back to work.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Well, I left the house to go to Virginia to visit my mom, and then my mom got sick, and then I come home and everybody here is sick. They don't leave the house. It's cold and it's snowy out, but just things travel somehow with all these kids. Things get infested. You know what
I was actually here to promote the fact that I am doing an AEW Dynamite post show at 1. Oh my god. Yeah.
Did you watch the show last night, or did you do something other things for? Okay.
I did, because I knew that the Mercedes thing was going to happen. I think I told, how many days ago did I tell you? Like 2 or 3 days ago that it was going to happen?
You told me yesterday.
But you may have told me.
Yeah, yesterday was when you were like, something's happening on AEW, and that's when I was like, okay, is this happening?
Really? Yes. It was felt like a long ass day.
Well, it was last year technically, so.
Yeah, that was a year ago.
Oh God Almighty!
I hate my kids with that. They get so mad. They get so mad at me. I was like, "I'll see you next year," and they're like, "Dad jokes." I was like, "Yeah, true.
I am a dad."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I'll be damned. It was yesterday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
So. You may have told me before, and I just forgot. But
I think I did. I think I put that something was going to happen, but then I told you yesterday. Yeah. There you go.
Listen to Sean at 1:00, or listen to SP3 shows at 1:00. Listen to them both. See what they both have to say at the same time. Yeah, run them at the same time.
Hump yesterday. I've got Wheezy on next week. I've got Jaren on the week after that. SP3, we need to get you on there sometime.
I was gonna say that. I was like, I'm the only in the weeds host you haven't asked yet.
I mean, listen, I'm cycling through before I reset. So I tried to hold off using people from Fightful like for a long time, and I would just forget to book hosts and be like, Jeremy, this week you, and he's like, all right.
It's like, shit, don't I do enough audio? I'm tired. I don't feel like doing more. Although I'm doing a new show now.
I part-time schedule. I can't do it.
Exactly. Part-time show, showing up today, showing up to work every day. Holidays included out here. I just want to say
it was. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Apparently, I'm doing a show for Select that I still don't know what it's going to be or when it's going to air or anything like that. I got to still nail all this down.
Jeremy, did you see my grandma bit on the
prediction? I did. Yeah, that was good.
I made a prediction last year, SP3, that my grandmother would not die because, of course, she already had. That came true. And then this year, I predicted that her streak of not dying would continue. And Denise was not happy with it because, of course, she wants my grandmother to die again. This stems from the fact that I told everybody that the reason Denise finally left Fightful was because my grandmother died, and she didn't want to support me as a result of that. People thought like me and Denise had heat or something like that.
I remember that. Guys, I got messages about that.
Did you?
Yeah. Somebody, I think they were like partially trolling because I think they were just like trying to be a dick about things. But they're like, Deshaun and Denise like really hate each other. Why is Denise leaving? And I just ignored it. I'm like, I'm not acknowledging.
Denise and I talk more now than when she worked here. Go figure.
That's usually how it works. Yeah. You stop working with
somebody. Maybe I should hire her back so she'll leave me alone.
You actually have to hit them up and talk to them outside of shows.
Oh my God!
That's gonna be my Select show. Me and Denise just talking about Taylor Swift.
I'm not paying her. It costs a lot of money for those individual shows.
And Denise says a high rate.
That's why I was like, bye.
I feel like with me, as like a one-off for like an hour, just talking Taylor Swift. I think I might be able to get her to agree to this, but. Yeah,
here's how I get around it. I wait until she asks me to do something, then I'll be like, all right, but you got to do a show for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I knew she's gonna ask me to do the predictions every year, so I can ask her to do the Fightful Awards every year. Plus, to be fair, she does bring some red carpet credibility to the show. There is that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, Fightful Awards probably going to happen at the end of the month, but I'll see you guys later.
The Wheaties are
Yes,
tomorrow, everybody. Get ready for the Wheaties. Who cares about the Fightful Awards?
Wheaties.
I'll promote the
All
Fightful
about
Awards
the
when there's like a
Wheaties.
date. Yeah. The Wheaties are tomorrow, everyone. Willow Nightingale won the AEW TBS Championship, defeated Mercedes Moné in a fantastic match. Mercedes Moné, now just a giant-ass loser, can't hold on to any of these titles, and Willow gets the title back. I love the finish with the counter, not getting hit with the moneymaker, and then the powerbomb counter, and into the cradle, the reversal, from the jackknife into the babe with the bomb. I thought that was great. The stuff on the outside of the suplex on the table, like the whole match was just great stuff. And they had the cradle, which is how Willow beat Mercedes at the pay-per-view, so the callback there. Overall, just again, fantastic match. Didn't go super long. I know people might be mad about that, but me, in my 12 to 18 minute range, loved the fact that it was there. And yeah, Willow wins the title and then gets hugged by everybody because everyone's just friends now. All friendship wrestling out here. Thoughts on the match? Willow dethroning Mercedes, and Willow and Stat just being best pals.
Fabulous main event. Probably my favorite Dynamite main event of 2025. I think the only one that I thought of after I said that to somebody, I was like, maybe, like I said it's one of my favorites because I was like, maybe I like the Hangman Fletcher Owen Hart Cup semifinal. That was an excellent matchup, but this was my favorite because from the minute go.
Hold on, sorry. We're talking Dynamite history or just Dynamite 2025?
2025 main event.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So like I would say like this one was my favorite because from the minute go they just went off. Like you get Mercedes with the drop kicks to the outside, and then she just slams Willow's body into the barricade twice. Then Willow does the pounce and she launches into the barricade herself. You get then them working in the ring together. Hello, you want to show them your shirt?
Oh hell yeah! The GOAT Harlem is here.
Say Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
This is her
Happy New Year, Harlem.
It's I guess this is Talking Tom, right? Talking Tom.
Sure.
And then
I don't know.
It's Angela and Angela.
All
there
right.
we go.
What are they from?
Talking Tom. It's her favorite show. Talking Tom.
Oh, that's the show? Okay.
Yeah. Say hi to Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. I have a new t-shirt.
That's a sweet-looking shirt.
A new t-shirt. Talking Tom here is a super t-shirt.
I like your shirt, Harlem.
It's a Talking Tom here is a super shirt.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice. I don't know what Talking Tom is, but get the headphones back.
Oh, she's like, I'm taking over now.
Kick him off, Harlem. Kick him off the show. Just push his face. Just push him away. You do the show.
She will listen to you. Can I get my headphones? All right. Good job. You showed them your
I told her to kick you off the show. I said,
I heard you.
All right. I was like, just push him away. Me and you will do the show.
She was about to dip.
I know. She's about to just take your headphones and run off. Fuck it. You don't need these.
She's like, I'm just going to listen to me. I'm out here.
Harlem's the best.
Awesome. Love
the true star of the show. The true star of the show.
Yeah, that was the if we're getting the ITW MVP, it is Harlem with the Shut Up Dadas and it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say great matchup. I thought that both ladies just went off in this one. You can't play your iPad in here because then the sound is gonna get us copywritten. Okay?
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Let's show the app.
No, you can't show them the app because then they.
Oh no, he can't speak. I went Harlan.
Now she wants to have a whole conversation with you about this now.
Oh, I can't.
What are you trying to show him?
Let's play Talking Tom and Friends World.
What are we playing?
Talking Tom and Friends World.
Okay. Did she know we played
We can play
Sprunky?
Sprunky.
Oh yeah,
another
we
day,
got
okay.
yeah.
Or you can show him the app on the computer next time, okay? We're not right now.
I do have a.
Show him on the TV. What do you need to do?
She's taking over this show. Harlem, I do have a hard out at like 11:55 because I need to.
I need Ben.
Okay.
I'm not trying to cut you short here, Harlem, but
No, wait, Bobby. You're gonna show him.
we need our SB3. We need Harlem on the Wheaties tomorrow. We gotta have Harlem on the Wheaties.
I will let her know.
Okay.
I will let her know. She did absolutely 0 hours. She went into business. On
Yeah,
herself.
she did.
She wanted to change this show
She said,
into showing
Fuck
you.
y'all show.
She was very adamant. She needed to show you. She's like, I need to show him my app, my Talking Tom. All
Yeah.
right.
If I didn't have to leave like right just before 12, I obviously would have let that continue. But I do have to like leave at like 11:55.
It's fine. Great matchup between. Yes, he did bury it. Great matchup between Willow and Mercedes. I like the back and forth of it all. It was hard hitting. It was physical. It just felt like they were going balls to the wall. The bump that Mercedes took with the DVD on the apron was brutal. And it's a rare case of a Dynamite matchup that I rewatched this morning. The last time that I did that was the Speedball and Fletcher matchup in the Continental Classic, but I watched it back this morning because I was like, nah, that main event was so good. This is one of my favorite Dynamite main events of the year. Willow Nightingale winning just felt like a big way to kind of end off 2025. The ending stretch, like I even had Jimmy Macaram this morning as he's watching it. He's like, the second half of this matchup was ridiculously good. So I can't wait to hear what else he has to say about the matchup in totality. Like the three amigos on the floor and then the final amigo on the table was a good spot. And then the exchange, the struggle going from moneymaker attempt into Babe with the power bomb attempt into cradle attempt into the same pin that Willow beat Mercedes with. Mercedes used it on Willow, got a near fall, and then at the end the jackknife into the Babe with the power bomb was great. But I thought the post match was just so lovely. It was a great like cherry on top of just a fabulous main event by having that great moment where Chris Statlander's in the ring clapping for Willow. And it all started when Willow lost the TBS championship to Mercedes 584 days ago. Right after that matchup is when Chris turned on Willow. So to see where they've come after 584 days, where Chris is the AEW Women's World Champion, the first ever woman to hold the TBS championship, and to be a former TBS champion and a AEW Women's World Champion, and then Willow making history, becoming the first woman to hold two titles at once in AEW, holding the Women's Tag Team Championships and the TBS Championship, and them hugging and embracing and giving the people what they want. That was just a lovely way to close out the show, seeing Harley, Stat, and Willow standing in the ring celebrating. Just a great way to end off 2025.
My only complaint about this, and it's not a complaint about the match, it's sort of a complaint about Willow winning, but not really. Do we really need more double champions? Are we really doing more double champions? This is an annoying AEW thing that they just do. They like to put champions in a title picture, and now we're doing double champions. It's like they already got a title. Can we just have them work with the titles that they already have instead of stacking championships here? Because then one championship goes off to the side, and I don't always love that. I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, guys, this is a sign that Tony Khan is still Tony Khan, and that he needed one person to have two titles so he can be able to book all these titles on a consistent basis. Because that's the only way. If he had Mercedes and then Chris and the Babes of Wrath having two separate titles, we wouldn't see all these champions week after week. But Willow having both titles, there is a chance that we can see the champions week after week because one person has two titles. titles. I think this is a long-term thing? No. I think that eventually, maybe by even like Grand Slam Australia, they probably move the tag team titles to Timeless Love Bombs, because it never felt like the Babes of Wrath was the plan from the beginning. It felt like Timeless Love Bombs was supposed to be the first ever women's tag team champions, but they went with the hotter hand, the tag team that got over the most and had the best match of the tournament in Babes of Wrath. And I think eventually they'll put the titles on Timeless Love Bombs, and then we might have 3 champions that they actually care about, because I think Willow is so popular. She's the third most popular woman, or even second maybe, with up there with Mercedes and Timeless Toni Storm. Chris Statlander, they're given this big push to, so I'm hoping that we can get to the point where we have 3 separate champions not holding 2 titles at once. But for now, I think it's fine, and it's a great accomplishment for Willow.
Okay, if you're going to do Timeless Love Bombs winning the titles, and you mentioned Grand Slam Australia, I know it doesn't have to be Grand Slam Australia. That's the only team that can beat Harley and Willow in Australia, because otherwise Harley and Willow got to win in Australia. Otherwise, there might be a riot out there. Yeah, but if it's Tony and Mina, I think the crowd will be okay. If it's anybody else, that Australian crowd ain't going to be happy seeing Harley and Willow lose those titles in Australia. All right, I got to get to the super chat from Leron Ford, apologies. Happy that Willow won, man, but this means we won't get all 3 titles defended on pay-per-view. I mean, as SP3 mentioned, and we just kind of mentioned, like the next pay-per-view is March, so there is Grand Slam Australia before then. So technically they could lose the titles there, and then we could get all 3 titles defended on Revolution. I wouldn't bank on all 3 titles being defended on Revolution, even if they are on 3 different entities. 0 hour for one of you.
I'm gonna hold my breath on that one.
All right, SP3, what was your moment of Wednesday?
I'm just gonna go with the easy one. Willow Nightingale winning the TBS championship, becoming the first ever two-time TBS champion, and the first ever woman to hold 2 championships in AEW. Willow Nightingale, well deserving of that honor. So that's my moment of Wednesday.
My moment of Wednesday was the Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm exchange, when Toni Storm comes up to him backstage and calls him a good-looking citrus, and then Mina is like, "Why's your hands in your pockets? Keep your hands out of your pockets." And Tony is just like, "It's professional. You know this really. He's not my type." And then she takes the bite out of the orange. Yeah. And then she takes the bite out of the orange, and Mina is like, "No, none of that." Oh, very good. They got really good chemistry. It's easy with those 2, as I mentioned earlier, but they got really good chemistry. So that was my moment of Wednesday. Results of our poll question. So I didn't even give the full thing, but the question was C-suite. 48% said don't retire. 52% said retire. So the C-suite might be retired, folks. The chat has spoken.
And you'll find out tomorrow why it is retired and who's gonna be in the new position of management.
What did we accomplish today, SP3?
We accomplished a lot of nothing, but a lot. We talked about the NBA and the current state of both of our teams. Spurs beating the Thunder, and the only team that's able to beat the Thunder apparently, and the Lakers not being able to guard a parked car. We talked about not overworking yourself in the new year in 2026. Taking days off for your mental and physical health is always necessary, unless you're Jeremy Lambert and you want to turn into a red person. And we talked about AEW Dynamite with a lot of great stuff, including Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné having an absolute banger in the last AEW matchup of the year.
Greater than Hark, you didn't miss Stardom talk. That's on me. I gotta run, and so SP3,
I will come tomorrow strictly to talk about Stardom and literally interrupt the Wheaties completely. And I will talk about Stardom because I did promise that. I did say we were going to talk about that. So for sure, I'll be back tomorrow, talk about that, and give a proper preview to Wrestle Kingdom 20, because we can't depend on Joe Pearl to do that. Love Joe Pearl, but can't depend on him to do that.
Yeah. This is, again, I got to cut the show short because a lot going on around here. So I do apologize to everyone for that. The biggest thing we accomplished today, everybody, is Happy New Year and take care of yourself. It's been a long year. It's going to be another long year. Take your days. Take time for yourself. Take care of yourself, everyone. Let them know where they can find you at SB3.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueSB3. I will be live in about 1 hour with Jimmy Macaram on AE Ramble, the first AE Ramble of 2026, our first one in like 2 weeks. We'll be talking about anything he wants to talk about in the world of wrestling, which he hasn't talked about anything wrestling-wise in 2 weeks, so God knows what he's going to talk about, and what he thought about last night's AEW Dynamite. If he watched anything from AEW World's End, we'll find out 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, True Hill Heat flagship podcast. We got our top 10 men's wrestlers of the year dropping on True Hill Heat later tonight as well. And I will be live tomorrow on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with our NJPW Wrestle Kingdom preview. So check out all of that, and appreciate y'all for a great 2025. And let's have a great, even greater 2026. And thank you, Jeremy.
Appreciate you as always, SB3. Thanks everybody who has sent kind messages to me, whether it's been in the chat or privately, wishing everybody in my family well. I appreciate that, and I apologize if I haven't responded directly to everyone, but I do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. It's the Wheaties tomorrow, everybody. It's the Wheaties. I don't know what to expect, but it is the 58th annual Wheatie Awards tomorrow. So everyone get ready for that. Appreciate everyone. Everyone have a happy, safe new year. I got to figure out how I'm going to do my this while hitting end and not hold my mic. Everyone take care. See y'all tomorrow. I apologize.